where Virginia's multiple who's are.
Relevant to our current situation.
That is correct. 1-1. It's umpires your baseball game. Jump around.
And I think, Tom, the thing I'm going to be looking for the most from Brisky is more swings and misses. Georgia Tech, in that one start, had a lot of foul balls. See if she can tone those down a bit today. Checked, pitch clock was at 14 upon release. You have 20 seconds, so that means from the reset to the release, that was 6 seconds for Brisky.
Strike three. Finger down on strike.
Nice movement from Brisky, attacking the outer half of the plate. Air a little bit late as well, but that's a good pitch to get that swing and a miss that I was looking for. ACC all-freshman selection last year. Really good player that Coach Harden's excited about.
3-1 win for Alabama yesterday. Strike 2-2. Tied now 72-13 all time. 2-2. High chopper to third. Dowling charging in front, but throw not going to be in time. ACC teams. Georgia Tech, obviously, the first weekend. Virginia here. Opportunity to face a couple more. Georgia Tech, Florida State still on the schedule. Seven, 5 and 22 with 2 runs scored. RBIs. 1 for 3 yesterday. Really made a big impact in the ball game with their glove.
Yeah, had that phenomenal stop over at second base to get up. The very speedy Lauren Johnson, a freshman that, again, Virginia very high on. Raw out of Oklahoma and just outside the top 50 in extra inning softball's recruiting ranks, but Jordan really likes the foundation that she's providing and the solid glove that she has at second.
It's in there for a strike. They throw down to try to pick off the runner at first. The ball sails past Dutcher. Today's weather and field condition report brought to you by the Cook New Zealand National Science. Discover something amazing at Cook New Zealand National Science in downtown Decatur, Alabama. For more information, visit cooknewzealand.org. It is still cold. What? Yes. 46 degrees at first pitch. Up to cloudy skies. Wind blowing left to right. Blowing out about 12 miles. ball to third. Dowling is there. She makes a sophomore throw to first to get the draw. Second.
Good recognition by Dowling. Saw out of the periph that there was no chance to try and get Hilton go into second because I think that was a hit and run. And Dowling, aware of the situation, makes a good throw over first.
Brings up third baseman Sarah Coon. Ball one. Coon batting .389, 7 of 18, 5-run score, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. 1-0.
Tom, you would appreciate what Coach Harden said about Sarah Kuhn and the FGCL. You know, last year kind of struggled, hit .248 after a great freshman year, hitting just under 300 and being all ACC freshman team. But Coach Harden said that Sarah Kuhn went to the FGCL and it kind of showed her, you know, I don't have to take myself so seriously. I can free myself up, and it kind of provided a reset for her game.
3-0. A little bit high. That was a throw-pitch walk. First and second, 2 outs, just underway. Scoring at the top of the first inning. Mason Mann. Risky. Pitch. Away. 4-ball 1. Batting .158, 3 of 19, 2-run score for the double and 2 RBIs.
Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 15 minutes from my mark.
Ground ball back
in
to Bresky.
5,
She makes a stop
4,
on 1 hop.
3,
Throw
2,
Butcher is in time, and that'll do it.
Mark.
For
That was your
Virginia here in the
15-minute
first. They
time
threatened,
check,
but
stations.
anybody across.
And a good job by Brisky. That got back to her so fast.
Lauren Johnson, the center fielder, batting second. Batting third is the first baseman, Evan Butcher. First pitch. Callie Hevel, the second baseman, batting fourth. Batting fifth. And catching, Marlon Giles. Kimberly Cahill, shortstop, batting sixth. Bailey Dowling, third base, batting seventh. KJ Hayden is a player batting eighth. Right. That's ninth. In the circle for Virginia, it's a right-hand sophomore from Pressburg, Virginia. Bigham on the year, 5.11 ERA, 2-1 record. Fourth appearance, third start, 2-0. Tied 3-0. He's pitched 12 in the third innings, 7 hits, 10 runs, 9 earned, 5 walks, 24 strikeouts, 59. Bigham on the year.
Bigham, a little wild. Well, and the thing about the stat line that sticks out, a 5.11 ERA and opponents hitting a 159 against Bigham. I mean, this is a very talented sophomore, all freshman selection in the ACC last year. Good velocity, upper 60s, a lot of rise.
3-1 is high for ball 4. Jenna Johnston draws. Get another walk here today. Leadoff man on here in the first. And this first inning is presented by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy online at barclaygmc.com.
And Bigham is trying to work a little bit more on mixing speeds. We'll see if that pops up today. But for the most part, it's pretty much straight heat. And so Alabama will have to get used to that higher velocity than anything they've seen today.
Lauren Johnson steps in. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Johnson batting 500. 500 on the year. 6-12, a 5-run score, 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. Pulls back the bunt again. 2 balls and no strikes. The SEC co-freshman of the week following her performance in Atlanta in the Buzz Classic. Defensively for the Cavaliers, Jones in left, Ayer in center, Weaver in right, Kuhn at third, Hilton at short, Cabral at second, Barbie at first, and Boggs is behind the plate. And a quick meeting in the circle now with Boggs and Bigham as she's had trouble finding the zone here to start things off, similar to what we saw in the St. Thomas game.
Weird trend today. And like I said, Bigham is a really talented sophomore. Last year, her freshman season, I remember we were watching some of her performance and saying, wow, UVA has found something. But it's been about wrangling in that control for her and finding the more consistent location.
That ball is popped up, foul ground. It will get out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Lauren Johnson. The 2-1. Johnson puts a bunt down. Third baseman comes up and fields it, and that's Kuhn, and she throws out Johnson at second, but Jenna Johnson, the older sister, moves to second on the sacrifice.
Pretty well done by Sarah Kuhn. That looked like it could have been in that dicey little infield Bermuda Triangle where Bigham and Kuhn both went for it, but Kuhn caught off the pitcher and rifled a good throw.
Abby Dukeshire steps in and takes the first pitch in the air. Ranging back and making the catch is Hilton at short for out number 2.
Patrick Murphy talks so much about swinging at your pitch, and I'll tell you what Abby Dukeshire did. That was exactly what she was looking for. A little bit of an elevated, not super jumpy rise ball. That was exactly what she wanted, but unfortunately just got a hair under it.
So now 2 outs, runner on second for Callie Hevlin. First pitch is high for ball 1. Hevlin, the junior, batting .292, 7 of 24, 5 runs scored, 3 doubles, 2 homers, and 10 runs driven in. Was 0 for 3 against Virginia last evening. The 1-0 is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Patrick Murphy is the head coach of the Crimson Tide in his 26th season. The Alabama head coach has a record here in Tuscaloosa. That one's grounded foul of 1,246 victories, 355 losses, a 778 winning percentage. Assistant coach is Kayla Bro. Pitching coach Lance McMahon. The hitting coach is Anna Marber. Coordinator of player development is Ryan Iamurray. Director of softball operations, Jaden Spencer.
Ribs.
The 2-1 misses inside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
And I was talking to Bro in between games, and she was like, I forgot about this part too. She was trying to get warmed up from the first game. It'd been a minute since she'd been out in the cold like that for that long.
Yes. The 3-1 swung on and missed, and the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. AC Tinka is the athletic trainer. Strength and conditioning coach Michelle Diltz. Nathan Sheehan, sports information. Video director is Scott Moyer. Stu Moore is the equipment manager, and the sports nutritionist, Brianna Leonard. Bigham looks in. Payoff pitch. Evelyn fouls that one off past Patrick Murphy in the third base coaching box. Count remains 3-2. For Virginia, their head coach, Joanna Harden. Associate head coach and hitting coach, Jeff Tilka. Pitching coach, Jamie Allred. And the assistant coach, Bella Norton.
And a fun story we told on the TV broadcast last night, Jamie Allred, the pitching coach for Virginia, was a pitcher for Coach Harden at McNeese, and they came and beat Alabama in 2014.
That's a ground ball that's going to get through for a base hit into left field. Rounding third is Jenna Johnson. The throw is not in time. Sliding in safely is Jenna. Evelyn takes second, and the Crimson Tide has an early 1-0 lead.
Pretty good relay in from Jones out in left. Jenna Johnson had to be scooting to get in, and I thought for a moment Boggs might have had her. I do think Johnson got in safely, but certainly what helped is the ball got jarred loose from Boggs, so no issue with the call. And how about Callie Hevlin working the at-bat, getting what she wanted, lining it through the left side. Good piece of hitting by Callie as she moves up to the top half of the order, really for the first time this year.
And that breaks a tie for the team lead in RBIs. She had 10, as did Abby Dukeshire. Now Callie Hevlin back ahead with 11. Marley Giles to the plate now. First pitch is high for ball 1. Hevlin credited with a single, advancing to second on the throw. Giles on the year, batting .333, 1 of 3 with a double. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. One O's high and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
Coach Murphy mentioned Marley Giles back to 100%, had a little tweak injury situation opening game in Atlanta.
Here comes Shamie Allred to come. The 2-0 pitch. High and away, 3 balls and no strikes. Alabama wearing the crimson over white uniforms today. The crimson jerseys, baseball style, trimmed in white. White pants with the crimson pinstripes and crimson socks. The 3-0, called strike. Virginia with the white over dark blue. White jerseys with Virginia in blue across the chest. Blue pants and white socks. 3-1. High and away for ball 4, and Marley Giles, in a shocking development, draws a walk.
So what's the record? 66 single season? Kaylee Tao and Cassie Riley-Boscia. If Marley stays healthy, that is going to be in jeopardy. Just calling it now. Her eye is so much improved from last year. It's really phenomenal.
Now Kinley Cahalan steps in. First pitch is high for ball 1. Cahalan on the year, batting .320, 8 of 25, 6 runs scored with a homer and 3 runs driven in. Kinley was 0 for 3 yesterday against Virginia, batting in the 2 spot. The 1-0, called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alabama's upcoming schedule brought to you by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. The 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Alabama wraps up play in the Easton Bama Bash tomorrow, taking on the Southern Indiana Screaming Eagles. First pitch is set for 1 and will be on the air at 12:50. The 2-1 pitch misses low and away, 3-1. So again, 2 more games today. Alabama's done after this one, but 2 more. And then Virginia and St. Thomas at 11 a.m. tomorrow, followed by Alabama and Southern Indiana. Called strike. And the count's full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kinley thought she had drawn the walk there, but Donald Brown gave the high strike. And the count's full. Payoff pitch. Cahalan swings and misses at strike 3. And that'll do it for Alabama here in the first inning.
Yeah, had a chance to add a little bit more. However, good to see Alabama get on the board. Virginia has allowed 3 runs in the first inning all year, and they have come in the 2 games against the Crimson Tide. Very, very important to give the freshman Jocelyn Brisky a feeling of a little bit of comfort after that first inning.
For the Tide in the first, 1 run on 1 hit. Abby Weaver to lead things off. Weaver, right-handed hitting, batting .368, 7 of 19 with a run scored, 2 doubles, 5 runs driven in. And the first pitch is a called strike. Weaver 1 for 3 yesterday against Alabama. The 0-1 pitch misses low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hits the inside corner this time. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Weaver. That's a ground ball on 2 hops to short. Charging in, making the stop in the throw is Cahalan. And there's 1 gone. That brings up the left fielder, Kaylin Jones. Jones batting .333, 3 of 9 with a run scored and an RBI. First pitch is a called strike. Jones was 0 for 3 yesterday for Virginia against Alabama. Fouled away, no balls and 2 strikes. Elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, as we mentioned earlier, you heard the Alabama men's basketball team getting another conference victory This time over Texas A&M by a final score of 100-75. That one comes in high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is a really good tournament team in Texas A&M that Alabama just absolutely handled. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jones down on strikes, and there's 2 away. And that Bama strikeout, like all Tide strikeouts, are brought to you by Barclay GMC of Tuscaloosa. For over 42 years, Barclay makes it easy. Online at barclaygmc.com.
First baseman number 20, Shelby Barbie.
Shelby Barbie steps in, the first pitch. High and away for ball 1. And Gray, the number of really good teams that Alabama has just blown the doors off of at Coleman Coliseum since Nate Oates got to Tuscaloosa is really impressive.
And that's a high-quality A&M team.
The 1-0. Called strike 1-1.
That, I believe, is still the #1 offensive rebounding team in America. And they had 26 offensive rebounds today, but the key difference, only 21 second-chance points. So Alabama defensively able to bear down a little bit. That's where A&M gets a lot of their buckets.
Check swing. She did not go. 2 balls and 1 strike. It also helped, or did not hurt things for Alabama that they made about 25 three-pointers.
I mean, if you're going to shoot them, make them,
Yes.
you know? Analysis.
The 2-1 is a called strike, 2-2. Alabama made shots. Texas A&M did not. Hence, Alabama wins by 25. The 2-2 pitch. Low and away, and the count's full, 3-2. And about to get underway over at Sewell Thomas Stadium, Alabama baseball. The Tide taking on Manhattan, the second of 3 against the Jaspers. Tide won yesterday 4-0. To start Robert Vaughn era. That's a fly ball that's going to fall for a base hit into left. Shelby Barbie gets the second hit of the ball game, a 2-out single, keeping the second inning alive for Virginia.
Yeah, good at-bat by Barbie there. Kind of similar to what Callie Hevlin did earlier in the game. You know, looked off a couple pitches she didn't like, didn't chase, and found something in the zone after working the count.
That will bring up the catcher, Leah Boggs, FGCL.
As our mini Cavaliers.
First pitch is in there for a called strike. Boggs, right-handed senior, batting .222, 2 of 9 on the year with an RBI and a walk. Was 1 for 2 yesterday against Alabama. Takes that pitch high, 1-1.
Very experienced catcher, good leader on this team.
That one just misses a little bit high, 2-1. 2 outs, runner on first. Alabama leads at 1-0 here in the top of the second inning. The 2-1 pitch. Called strike. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got it with a rise. And Boggs is down on strikes to end the inning.
Nice comeback from Brisky, able to get the strikeout right after giving up the base hit. Hasn't gotten off to a good start this year. Hasn't had a great weekend, but can turn it around real quick.
First pitch is popped up and foul ground, first base side, and it will fall as first, second, and right field all trying to track that one down, but it fell harmlessly for strike 1. Dowling on the year, batting .238, 5 of 21, 3 runs scored with a double and 2 RBIs. Was 0 for 3 yesterday against the Cavaliers. That's a fly ball to deep left field. That one's back and out of here. Just over the fence, just over the glove of Jones and left. And Bailey Dowling goes yard, a solo shot, and the Crimson Tide leads at 2-0.
Yeah, she can turn it around real quick.
Yeah, there you go.
Bailey Dowling, elevated pitch into the teeth of the wind. That is the impressive part. The wind blowing hard left to right and more in than anything else. I thought that was going to keep it in the yard just from sheer force, but Dowling able to muscle it out over the glove of Jones, and that's the first homer of the year for BD.
That Bama home run is brought to you by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at BryantMuseum.com. First pitch to KJ Haney is high for ball one. It's KJ getting the start here as the DP on her senior day. 0 for 3 on the year. 1-0 is a called strike, 1-1.
We have the fact sheet.
We do.
Here we go. KJ Haney knew that she wanted to be a part of Alabama from the age of 8, which, same.
Same, yeah, got it.
Maybe sooner.
The 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2.
Started playing softball at the age of 5, played baseball in high school, and is a 2-time Georgia high school girls wrestling champion. Second in America in her weight class.
The 1-2 went too far around on the check swing, and Haney's down on strikes. And there's one away.
Got fooled a little bit by the off speed from Bigham, whipping that out really for the first time, and we'll get to the rest of the fact sheet a little bit later. There's a lot of fun stuff down here.
I wonder when she won the wrestling championship if she used a steel chair or...
Who's to say? I don't know. I'll let you ask her.
Maybe someone came in and interfered for her.
Well,
because I know that happens.
But no one saw it.
No one sees it. The ref didn't see it. The first pitch to Larissa Pruitt is in there for a called strike. Larissa Pruitt, sophomore, batting .250, 3 of 12 with a triple and 2 RBIs on the year. The triple came earlier today to end the ball game against St. Thomas. That's a fly ball, foul ground that will slice into the Bama bullpen off the clubhouse. No balls and 2 strikes. Pruitt played yesterday against Virginia as a defensive substitution late, but did not get an at-bat.
Starting to find her swing a little bit, though. We talked about it in Atlanta. It seemed like she was torn and not committed to either when she was trying to slap her hit away. But against St. Thomas, it was a lot more hit away, and she seemed set on that.
The 0-2, fouled off. We'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. But Gray, I think it's now time for a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We had a great discussion with Michelle Smith. Also, like and subscribe to the It Just Means More Softball podcast. High and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I begin with some sad news. Word from ESPN PR. The remainder of Saturday's Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational presented by Evo Shield Games have been canceled due to poor weather conditions. Updates to come for Sunday.
The 1-2 is fouled away. We'll do it again, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, and that's why we were playing games at 9 a.m. this morning Eastern time to try to get some games in because they knew weather was coming.
And this is really kind of the first time it's been this big of an issue at Clearwater, which is a shame because this was a pretty good field. And some pretty great games coming up tonight, too, that won't happen.
Pruitt takes that one low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They did get a few done, though, including Georgia over Florida State, 20-10. A real softball score.
Not really, but that was the score.
That was the score of the game.
Two pitch. Pruitt pops this one up, foul ground. It's foul down the right field line. Do it again, 2-2.
Other finals from the conference. LSU walked off Oklahoma State 7-6. Kind of a weird weekend for Oklahoma State, and because they're undefeated, a fairly impressive weekend for LSU, even though they've had to come from behind in every game.
Yeah, it seems like, and it's not like they're down 1 run. And usually they're down like 4 or 5, 6 runs, and they come back and get the victory. Another 2-2. Pruitt takes it outside, and the count's full, 3-2.
Other finals, Ole Miss escapes East Tennessee State 5-3, and Missouri beats South Dakota State 7-1.
Did they finally get a hit in that game?
They did.
Okay,
They
good.
had 7 of them, actually.
Wow.
Well done.
Offensive explosion. Payoff pitch to Pruitt. And that's going to be a soft liner. That's going to fall for a base hit in front of Jones and left. And Larissa Jenna was. So now Kendall Clark steps in. The first pitch is high for ball one.
Watch out, watch out.
Clark yesterday did not play against the Cavaliers. Ball misses inside. Taking off is Pruitt, and she will get ahead, slide in just ahead of the tag with the stolen base. So Pruitt now, that's her first stolen base of the year.
Another quick final for a scoreboard update. Texas A&M just run ruled Loyola Marymount 10-2 in 6.
The 2-0. This is high, 3 balls and no strikes. Clark batting .375 on the year, 6 of 16 with 4 runs scored and RBI, and 2 doubles on the season. The 3-0 hits the outside corner. The count moves to 3-1.
Currently in Tucson, top of the 7th, Arkansas up on Omaha 6-2.
Omaha.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. The 3-1 is low and inside for ball 4.
And also, I guess they just scrapped Clemson-Auburn for some reason, because in Mexico, Mississippi State and Clemson are underway, top of the 2nd.
An RBI chance here to try to add to the 2-0 lead as we play here in the home half of the 2nd. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
You know, I also think with Clark in for Jenna Johnson, at least in that at-bat, we'll continue to monitor it. Probably fitting that Kendall Clark drew a walk.
Yeah, it's true.
Just the leadoff spot doing that all weekend long.
The 0-1 fouled off on a check swing, 0-2 on a pitch that was high and tight. Yeah, the leadoff position for Alabama, the #1 spot in the lineup for the Crimson Tide in these 2 games today, has yet to have an official at-bat. 1 hit by pitch and 4 walks.
And in the last 3 games has not been retired, because Jenna against Virginia last night was 2 for 2 of the walk.
The 0-2, and that's a blooper. That's going to get over the first baseman's glove. It's in fair ground. They'll throw and not catch Kendall Clark. The ball gets away. Now coming in to score is Larissa Pruitt on the errant throw. Pruitt scored on what goes down as an RBI single for Lauren Johnson.
Much more basic when you just look at the scoring than what actually happened.
Coon's going to stay in the ball game.
It's really good to see. Good for her and very good for Virginia.
And Abby Dukeshire to the plate. First pitch. And that's a fly ball to left. Jones settles underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 2. And kind of a rough couple of games here for Abby Dukeshire after the great start of the season.
Well, the first at-bat, she got her pitch. That time she got a little bit hamstrung by one that was high and tight. I'm not sure that she was expecting that to run in on the hands as much as it did.
So now Callie Hevlin to the plate. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Bama trying to add to the 3-0 lead. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Hevlin, RBI single, her first time up.
We do have a couple upsets to mention in the Out of the Box podcast scoreboard updates.
Warm up the sirens.
Oh, yes. I'll be tweeting later at Out of the Box _pod.
The 1-0 misses inside, 2-0.
Out west in a tournament at Grand Canyon, Cal in extra innings takes down Virginia Tech 6-5. And a true stunner down in Troy, Gardner Webb defeats newly ranked Indiana 7-4.
2-0 pitch. Hevlin with a fly ball to right. That's going to stay up and be caught by Weaver for out number 3 to retire the side. But the Crimson Tide plates a couple of runs.
The weekend as Kelly Air steps in to face Brisky and takes a first pitch strike. 0-1. Air struck out back in the first. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And if something did happen, again, Patrick Murphy's been pretty open about this on our calls and in the interviews. He's not afraid to say, you know what, we're deep enough. No need to take a risk. That one low, 1-2. And it could be nothing. We'll see. Always fun. The 1-2 from Jocelyn Brisky. Hit back up the middle. Cahalan snares it. Spin around throw. Scatters wide. Air might have beaten it out. I think she would have. And the leadoff is aboard for Virginia here in the third. I'll bring up Jade Hilton, who's already singled today. First pitch fouled away. 0-1. Air does have strong speed over at first base. 4 for 4 in stolen bases this season. The 0-1 from Brisky. High, misses. 1-1. The 1-1 misses low, 2-1. Brisky ready again. The 2-1 is low, 3-1. Well, last night against Alabama, Virginia 1 for 9 with runners on, 0 for 4 RISP. Three 3-1 in there for a strike from Brisky, full count. And now the payoff to Jade Hilton. That misses low, ball 4. Second walk of the day, surrendered by Brisky. And the first 2 batters have reached for Virginia here in the top of the third. Setting up the freshman, Bella Cabral. First pitch from Brisky. Misses inside. Cabral grounded out her first time up. You do have Sarah Kuhn on deck, so a bit of a dangerous situation for Brisky here in the third. The 1-0 is well hit out to right, and right to, oh no, Pruitt couldn't handle it. But she'll throw into second to get the force. A great recovery by Larissa Pruitt after misjudging the fly ball. It hit the deck, and Hilton had to hang it first in case she caught it, so got a late break to second. Pruitt a nice throw in to Cahalan. And after all that, runners on the corners with 1 out here in the third. So great job by Pruitt avoiding the error. Would have been an E9, but instead it's a fielder's choice. And now runners on the corners for Sarah Kuhn. First pitch fouled back. 0-1. Sarah Kuhn walked in the first. She does lead the team in RBIs with 6 and in homers with 3. The rest of the team has 3 combined. 0-1 from Brisky. In there for a strike, 0-2. And we saw Brisky get into situations like this against Georgia Tech. People on base, but she found ways to work out of it. 0-2. Did she go? I think she did, yes. There's a strikeout. Cabral took off on second after the ball squirted from Giles, but a heady play by Marley to not throw down, knowing Air with her speed is at third. And after the strikeout of Kuhn, 2 gone and 2 in scoring position here in the top of the third. And Patrick Murphy will come out and The 0-1 from Brisky. That's hit back up the middle, base hit. 1 run will score for Virginia. Here comes Cabral. The throw was stopped by Dukeshire. But the UVA freshman wins that battle. It's a 2 RBI single for Macy Eaton, and it's 3-2 Alabama here in the third. Looked just like a meaty pitch from Jocelyn Brisky that Eaton was able to barrel up. And in steps Abby Weaver. She'll take a first pitch strike. Weaver is 0 for 1 today. Macy Eaton just doubled her season-long RBI total. Rise high on the 0-1, 1-1. And now the 1-1. Off speed low, 2-1. The 2-1 is fouled off, 2-2. And really, this might be the first time all year where outside of a 7th inning, Alabama pitching has given up a relatively substantial hit in a situational moment. 2-2 from Brisky. Changeup is lined to Dowling, who makes the catch to end the inning. But Virginia gets on the board after the Cahalan and Dowling. Not a lot of chances for Alabama to respond this year, Tom, but 0-3 in the response stat, so it'd be nice to make that 1 for 4.
Yeah, that was interesting statistical issue that Alabama's given up runs in the 7th inning, so there hasn't been a chance in games they've won, so there hasn't been a chance to respond at those times. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to shut everybody out, so
that would be great.
That would be awesome, but it's probably not going to happen. So you need to be able to answer back when the opponent does put some runs up.
And a good person to have leading off that response attempt, Marley Giles. First pitch high for ball 1. Marley walked in the first. The OBP sits at a just beautiful 714. Bigham's ready. The 1-0 to Giles. Misses away. 2-0. There is some action in the Virginia bullpen. I believe that's Madison Harris, the hard-throwing righty who we saw last night. To Giles. Called strike. 2-1. There's a strike again, 2-2 on Giles.
Ray, I asked you last game, do you know what date it is?
I assume it's the same as it was in the first game.
It is still February 17th. You are correct. And it's still a good day for Alabama softball.
Great. 2-2 to Giles. Swing and a miss. Bigham fooled her on the rise. 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
That's really about the first time this season I can remember Marley Giles swinging at something that would have ended up being a ball.
Yeah.
It was a good rise ball.
Well, Bigham's got that capability. She's now got 3 strikeouts today. That's 27 on the year. She's a K pitcher. See what she does against Kinley Cahalan, who struck out her first time up and sees a first pitch ball outside.
And Alabama on this date now 13-1 all time. On February 17th, after the 8-0 victory over St. Thomas. We talked about last year on this date.
First the 1-0. That's a strike, 1-1.
So unfortunately the only loss on February 17th, but it was a 5-3 loss to UCLA in Clearwater when Ashley Prangy almost knocked you off the scaffolding with home runs.
1-1 to Cahalan. Misses high and away, 2-1.
Back when a home run at Clearwater meant something.
Wasn't like Halloween candy. Back in my day, Tom.
Yes. And I remember when we were out in the scaffolding, it rained for like 30 seconds the entire time we were there.
2-1 off speed, misses low, 3-1.
Unfortunately, they are dealing with rain in Clearwater here this weekend.
And I hate it for all of our friends, Amanda Scarborough, Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, the whole gang. This is such a huge weekend for early season softball on television, and to just have that taken away by weather stinks. 3-1 misses, and Kinley Cahalan draws the one-out walk. She heads to first, and a base runner for Alabama here in the bottom of the third, leading 3-2.
Third baseman, number 7, Bailey Dowling.
Now, Bailey Dowling gets to step in after hitting the home run her last time up. She can really get things rolling here with a big hit.
That's the only at-bat today, 1 for 1. First pitch, fouled back, 0-1. And out comes Jamie Allred to chat with Bigham.
Over at Sewell Thomas, they're in the.
And the pitch misses away, 1-1. Quick scoreboard update. It's gone final in Tucson, Arkansas, Omaha. Hogs win 9-2. Coming up in a bit, Arkansas, Arizona. Rematch of that battle last night. 1-1 to Dowling. Called strike in the inner half, 1-2.
We talked about it last game, but goodness, the way the walk-off happened for Arizona against Arkansas last night.
The 1-2. Called strike 3. Bigham went right back to it, and that clipped the inside corner for out number 2.
Yeah, that was just a situation where Bailey was just totally surprised by the pitch that was thrown.
And totally handcuffed, too. So with 2 gone and a runner at first, in steps KJ Haney, who struck out in the second. Fact sheet is back. We'll get to it. First pitch to KJ is a strike, 0-1. So here we go. Has a huge love for animals and used to have a horse named Liberty Bell.
Oh, yes.
Like the character from Glow. I know you've seen Glow.
It deserved another season.
Agreed. The 0-1. Another called strike, 0-2. She has a miniature dachshund named Osso and a bulldog named Tank, and wants a Great Dane named Gary, which some people call me occasionally.
It's not your name.
It is not. The 0-2 fooled her on the rise, and Bigham comes back, and outside of the walk to Cahalan, strikes out the side. A very strong pitching response by Eden Bigham after Virginia put up a 2-spot in the top half of the third.
Yep, and again, that puts it back on to Brisky now to come back out and not allow Virginia to continue to grow this. Yeah, Alabama hasn't had too many innings so far this season where they've had to respond in that situation, but Brisky has a chance to do it right here.
And I'll pass it back to you to make it happen.
Thanks so much, Gray. First pitch is a line drive to center, and that's going to fall for a base hit from Kaylin Jones. And a leadoff single by the Cavaliers puts the tying run on base as Alabama leads it 3-2. Jocelyn Brisky so far in the circle today. 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. 64 pitches and 39 strikes thrown by the freshman from Phoenix. First pitch to Shelby Barbie is popped foul for strike 1. Barbie singled her first time up. Junior from Oakboro, North Carolina. The 0-1. Called strike on the inside corner, and attempt to pick off the runner on first was close, but Jones slid back in just in time. No balls and 2 strikes on Barbie, though. The 0-2 pitch. Just missed, maybe a touch high, 1-2. Alabama 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 5 left. Virginia 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 4 left. The 1-2 pitch is a soft roller to third. Charging in, making the stop in the throw in time is Dowling for out number 1.
Catcher number 28, Leah Boggs.
That brings up the catcher, Leah Boggs. She's 0 for 1. Struck out her first time up. First pitch. High for ball 1. Boggs, a senior from Mansfield, Ohio. Fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alabama erupts for 4 runs in the bottom of the second over at the Joe, and Bama baseball now with a 5-0 lead over Manhattan through 2. Boggs pops this one up in foul ground. He'll get out of play up on top of the press box. We'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Virginia senior catcher.
Scoreboard update, Missouri leads North Texas 4-0, bottom 2.
Boggs lines that one just foul down the right field line. Dukeshire almost was able to get a glove on it, but it got just over.
And I'm just going to read the list of canceled games today, so you're not waiting for them if you are. Charleston in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Auburn, Georgia Southern Florida, Kentucky, UCF, as well as everything else at Clearwater.
The 1-2. Boggs pops this one up on the infield. Cahalan calls everyone off. Doesn't have to move far to make the catch, and there's 2 gone.
So the other Clearwater games canceled: UCLA, Tennessee, Minnesota, Georgia, LSU, Washington, which was going to be just great, and Kentucky, Texas.
So the storyline of Kelly Lynch facing her former team, not going to happen due to weather.
And, you know, we talked about the rankings. Winner of that is probably a top 5 team next week if they had remained undefeated in Clearwater. I mean, it's hard to be more impressed with a team who has a loss than Washington, because that loss was an extra innings to Oklahoma, and otherwise they've been pretty darn good this year.
Meeting offensive timeout called by Jeff Tilka, who's in the third base coaching box, with Kelly Ayer. Runner on second, 2 outs. Now the first pitch, fouled away. For strike 1. Ayers 1 for 2, singled and scored in the third, struck out in the first.
Virginia in this game 1 for 9 with runners on. Now a total of 2 for 18 against Alabama with runners on, but that one today was able to drive in the 2.
That one drops in for a called strike, 0-2, and Brisky went off speed there on that one.
Have not seen her whip out the changeup all that much, but I like it, giving Ayer a different look. Probably going to be something out of the zone here on the 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got her one low and away that she chased. And a big 3-pitch strikeout of Kelly Ayer.
Respiratory illnesses. For more information on vaccinations, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM. Stay safe and roll Tide.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Alabama with a 3-2 lead over Virginia. The 4th inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. Due up for the Tide here in the 4th inning. Pruitt, Clark, and Johnson, 9-1-2 against Eden Bigham in the circle for Virginia, who's gone 3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 72 pitches and 39 strikes thrown by Bigham. And last inning kept the Tide off the scoreboard, and now for today, including the first game against St. Thomas, last inning, the 3rd inning, the first time Alabama has not scored at least 1 run in an inning. Marissa Pruitt will lead things off here. First pitch. Missed high and inside for ball 1. Pruitt singled and scored in the second.
Yeah, Bigham is keeping Virginia in this game. She's got that capability, very talented young arm, but the Hoos do have a big pitching staff, and they've had a couple people stretching and warming up just in case.
1-0 is in the dirt, bounces away from Boggs. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch. High, 3 balls and no strikes on Pruitt.
It's just kind of been how the at-bats have gone for Eden Bigham, right? Like it's 0-2 or 3-0.
The 3-0 pitch. Called strike, 3-1. Alabama wraps up their play here in the Easton Bama Bash tomorrow against Southern Indiana. First pitch scheduled for 1 will be on the air at 12:50. The 3-1 pitch. Ooh, it's a called strike. Outside and lower part of the zone. We got the call, and the count's now full at 3-2. Midweek with North Alabama, and then Alabama heads to Birmingham for the Green and Gold Classic, hosted by UAB next weekend. The 3-2 is a fly ball. Still in fairground, shallow right. The catch is made by Weaver, and there's one gone.
First base umpire Christina Bates was trapped with the first baseman, Barbie, Cabral at second, Weaver and right, all converging. And Christina Bates was like, we out. I got to get out of here.
Back to the top of the order, and Kendall Clark. She walked her first time up in the second after she came in replacing Jenna Johnson. Swing and a miss, strike 1. I keep looking down in the dugout. I don't know if I've seen Jenna.
I haven't either.
But also, not everybody's up on the steps. Some are back around the heater, which is understandable. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But as I talked about earlier, this is where that depth is so important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got any question? That's all right. Throw in Kendall Clark. By the way, Kristen White still out, but Patrick Murphy hoping to have her back soon.
That one just misses outside, 2-1 on Clark.
Seems like there's a strong chance we'll see Kristen White next weekend, which is important. That's your center fielder and probable leadoff hitter.
The 2-1 drops in for a called strike, 2-2. Even more important if there is some sort of issue with Jenna Johnson.
Right. Wouldn't be shocked if Bigham cooked a rise right here on the 2-2.
She does, and Clark swings under it for strike 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're UVA, you saw that first pitch, the first swing of the at-bat, and Clark was late and under that rise, and so 2-2, 2 strikes, you got right back to it, and Clark a little bit late on the effort right there.
That brings up Lauren Johnson. Sacrifice bunt in the first. RBI single in the second. First pitch. Called strike, 0-1.
Boy, Lauren Johnson did not like that strike call in the inner half from Donald Brown.
The 0-1 pitch. That's too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're all cold, Donald. We understand. But got to stay consistent. The 1-1 pitch. Too high again. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. 3-2 Alabama here in the bottom of the 4th. Jamie Allred back out to talk with Eden Bigham. Good. Johnson will set back in with a 2-1 count. The pitch. Fouled back. And the count's evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Out of the Box Podcast scoreboard update. Bottom of the 4th, Mississippi State's lead is now 3-0 over top 10 Clemson down in Mexico.
Two-two pitch. Ooh, that's high and tight. Johnson got out of the way. Counts full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Johnson with a well-hit ball to right, but underneath it to make the catch is Weaver for out number 3 to retire the side. And for the first time today in either game, Alabama goes down 1-2-3. Here in Ball and Kuhn do up 2-3-4. So big inning for Jocelyn Brisky. The first pitch to Jade Hilton is in there for a called strike. The 5th inning is presented by Yellowhammer Brewing Company, Alabama's finest craft brewery. Hit your stride with a refreshing Yellowhammer beer, now available at stores near you. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
A lot of action in the Alabama pen. I've seen Ailey Johnson. I see Kayla Beaver.
1-1 drops in a bit too low, 2-1.
Jayla Torrance just journeyed back in. I saw Lauren Essman earlier. Alex Salter could pitch this weekend, has been dealing with kind of a forearm injury since the fall.
The 2-1. Check swing foul, 2-2.
Patrick Murphy told Kaylee Tao and me that he was hoping to get Salt some work this weekend if she's able to go. Following a pitching plan right now, so there are specific guidelines.
2-2 pitch. Hits the outside corner for a called strike 3. Hilton's down on strikes, and there's 1 gone.
That one got on her real quick. I don't think there was much of a velo change, but it felt like it just got there so fast, and Hilton was totally frozen. Good pitch, lower half from Brisky.
Bella Cabral steps in, the first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Cabral is 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 3rd. It is currently 42 degrees. It feels like it's 35.
If that.
Cabral fouls that one away. 0-2.
It's the wind. I mean,
Yeah.
it's...
The wind and lack of sunshine is really the issue here.
But you know what? Shout out again to the Alabama fans that are here, the St. Thomas folks that we saw earlier today, and a fairly solid number of Wahoos making the trip down from dear old Charlottesville.
The 0-2. In the dirt, 1-2.
Well, I'm given the chance. I must shout out Marco and Luca's Dumplings up in Charlottesville. A must stop for me every time I go.
The 1-2 pitch. Missed outside, 2-2.
And one time I went by and the owner, we were talking, and I said, yeah, you know, I always come here every time I go through Charlottesville. More to the story after this.
2-2 pitch. Cabral sends this one to shallow center, where Johnson caps underneath it, makes the catch for out number 2.
So I walk in, and we're talking, and I say I always stop by there, and she says, oh, where are you from? I said, Alabama. She said, you drive all the way from Alabama to eat my dumplings? I said, well, that's not quite it, but you're not wrong. And she gave me extra, and that's one of the best days of my life.
How about that?
Marco and Lucas, shout out to you.
Sarah Kuhn steps in, the first pitch. Grounded just foul for strike 1.
You can see Sarah Kuhn trying to make the adjustment on that at-bat. So that's 3 straight hitters in this inning where Brisky has started them with the changeup. First 2, it happened, so Kuhn probably thinking, well, I might see a changeup here, but still a little bit out in front.
The 0-1. Called strike 0-2. Kuhn's 0 for 1. She walked in the first, struck out in the 3rd. Had a little bit of an injury scare in that 2nd inning, but seems to be okay. The 0-2 pitch. Tie, 1-2. The 1-2. Again high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. That got a piece of her. Got a piece of the elbow guard. And Kuhn will head down first on the hit by pitch.
Kind of a disappointing situation after you got up 0-2, but Brisky not getting the chase and then just turning a little too far in on that curveball.
Macy Eaton steps in. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Eaton's 1 for 2 with a ground out in the first and had the 2 RBI single in the 3rd. providing both runs for Virginia. Marley Giles going out to talk with Jocelyn Brisky, kind of settling things down. But then Giles turned around and motioned for Lance McMahon to come out. Talk with Brisky.
I think this is maybe a pitch comm issue, perhaps. And then we saw AC walk Jocelyn Brisky back to the training room, so something we'll be monitoring, but very odd, and we hope Jocelyn Brisky's okay.
Mace Eaton takes the first pitch she sees from Beaver for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 2 outs, so the runner on first. Alabama with a 3-2 lead as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. The 1-1 swung on and missed. 1-2.
Well, and the thing that might concern me the most of all about that whole situation was the fact that it was in the middle of an at-bat when Brisky was like, y'all got to come and help me out with whatever's going on.
The 1-2. A little bit low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So line for Brisky as it stands right now. She went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 91 pitches, 57 strikes. She is responsible for the runner on first. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Backdoor curve got her. And that'll do it for Virginia here in the 5th.
Well, Kayla Beaver's a very different look. Uptick in velo has since come out. I also know Doc Bentley is here, so he might be taking a look as well.
Abby Dukeshire steps in. First pitch. Outside for ball 1. Duke's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. In a game that we've also, think we've seen Jenna Johnson leave with some sort of discomfort. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1. As you mentioned, Gray, it's just another time where Alabama's depth is being challenged here early on in the season.
That's why you have it, but man, I don't like having to bring it up all the time.
The 1-1. Dukeshire chased one high and away, 1-2.
So quick scoreboard update. Alabama men's basketball beat A&M today, 100-75. The committee also released their initial top 16 for the NCAA tournament. They do that preview every now and then, and Alabama was mentioned.
The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2.
As a 3 seed in the South region with Houston, Marquette, and Illinois. Other SEC teams, Tennessee is a 2 and Auburn is a 4. As the state of Alabama just like continues to run basketball. What a change from the old days when really just one team was running basketball.
The 2-2 is a soft liner that's going to be caught over the shoulder by Cabral at second for out number 1.
By the way, that doesn't even include the work Bucky McMillan is doing at Samford. Alabama basketball as a state is like as great as it's ever been.
Yeah. Alabama a 3 seed, but they were number 9 overall, so they're the number 1 3 seed.
That's right, just on the outside of the 2s.
Callie Hevlin steps in, swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Hevlin's 1 for 2, RBI single in the first, and a fly out in the second.
I'll tell you what, this game has completely changed since Bigham started working that changeup a lot more, and it's still a work-in-progress pitch, but it's looked pretty good today, and it's keeping these hitters off balance.
You know, one's outside, 1-1. That one comes in too high, 2-1 now on Hevlin.
And for the Virginia fans who might be tuning in, their basketball team had a game earlier today, 49-47 thriller over Wake. Final in Charlottesville.
Win is a win. 2-1. Fouled it back, 2-2. Yep, that sounds like Virginia basketball, like Alabama scoring 100. Sounds like Alabama basketball.
That's correct. You are who you are.
Right. Bigham looks in. 2-2 now to Hevlin is outside, and the count's full, 3-2.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, going back to the Jocelyn Brisky situation, it does kind of make more sense why Virginia was able to square her up a lot more down the stretch. I don't know when whatever was bothering her started bothering her, but after 2 pretty dominant innings, things kind of got a little squirrely.
Payoff pitch. Hevlin pops it up on the infield. Underneath it to make the catch is Hilton for out number 2.
I think that would have been ball 4. That looked like it was going to be high and tight.
Patrick Murphy coming out to talk with Donald Brown momentarily. But Marley Giles is going to bat here. Giles 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. First pitch. Called strike. Like we talked about with Patrick Murphy in our pregame interview before game 1 today, you want to make those in-game adjustments as well. First 2 batters of the inning pop it up. You don't pop it up the 3rd time.
That's right.
The 0-1 is a fly ball to deep center, but ranging over in the gap to make the catch is Air for out number 3. To retire the side, and for the 2nd straight inning, Alabama's offense goes down 1-2-3.
Yeah, and Bigham utilizing that rise, moving it all over the place. That was a real.
Not even 100% sure where a possible injury was on the body. Marley Giles gets her pitch comm from Lance McMahon, and we're about ready to get underway here in the 6th. Abby Weaver at the plate. She's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. Beaver looks in. Here comes the first pitch. Called strike, 0-1.
Further updates from Mexico. Bottom of the 5th. It is 4-2 Mississippi State over Clemson. Valerie Cagle just had a sac fly. Bulldogs trying to hang on.
The 0-1 pitch. Line foul. 0-2.
Also bottom of the 1st in Tucson. Arizona after, or I beg your pardon, Arkansas after Arizona just, I see like 8 possible errors in the scoring decision. It's 2-0 Razorbacks.
My goodness.
Muffed throw, assists, botched catch.
The 0-2 is a soft roller to 3rd. Dowling has it, but the throw's not in time. That's an infield single for Abby Weaver, as it was off the very end of the bat and was just rolling just out of the reach of Beaver coming out of the circle. Dowling made the stop in the throw, but no chance to get Weaver.
Left fielder number 2, Caleb Jones.
And Virginia once again has the leadoff man on here in the 6th.
I'll tell you what, hits like that make a no-hitter is even more remarkable because that was nothing special. It was just in the right spot.
Kaylin Jones, first pitch to her is low for ball 1.
Like, you really never know.
Right.
Off the end of the bat, just in the right position. No chance for anybody to really make a play on it.
The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0. And almost always in no-hitters or perfect games, you'll have a play like that, or you'll have a great play defensively that saves it. A diving catch or something of that nature. The 2-0 is in there for a strike, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch to Jones. Misses low, 3-1.
Well, now this is where Virginia gets into the true adjustment game. They saw Beaver last night. She got the complete game victory over the Hoos, gave up 4 hits, 1 unearned run.
The 3-1 pitch. There's a strike, and the count's full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Jones fouls it off into the Bama bullpen. We'll do it again, 3-2.
And I'll say this as well. We've called Virginia scrappy, feisty. With the way Florida State looked in Clearwater, the ACC, and with Clemson losing to Mississippi State right now, the ACC feels very up for grabs.
Wide open. Another 3-2. Another foul ball.
Now, I'm not going to predict Virginia to win the conference, but I think that they can pick off some people.
I think they're very similar to Georgia Tech now. Trying to break out of the middle, but they can beat anybody on a given day.
I would say, though, I think Virginia's overall pitching staff is probably a little stronger than Georgia Tech's.
Another 3-2, another foul ball. And Georgia Tech's, from what we saw in Clearwater, again, though, we don't know about Clearwater, but Georgia Tech's offense might be a little bit better than Virginia's. So
that's true. Man, Clearwater's just thrown a whole wrench in how you evaluate these teams, though.
Yeah, you almost have to throw it out in some aspects. 3-2, again fouled off.
I do see Jocelyn Brisky sitting on the bench over at the clubhouse. Looks like she has some kind of wrapping on that right shoulder.
Another 3-2, that's in there for a called strike, 3. Jones is set down for the first out of the inning.
Just a little middle up heat from Beaver. Little down movement on there and totally froze Jones. Great pitch.
Shelby Barbie in. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Barbie's 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. That wrap on the shoulder for Brisky looks like it's the stimulation wrap that they have on at times. So hopefully that's maybe just a cramp or a muscle strain of some sort, but I don't want to speculate. Barbie takes that outside, 2-0. But just saying, her arm's not in a sling or anything.
Right.
It's in a wrap, so hopefully that's a good sign. The 2-0. Soft blooper that's going to get over the glove of Kinley Cahalan in shallow center. And the bloop single puts runners now on first and second for Virginia here with 1 out.
Well, because of Kinley's body positioning, I did not see the ball land initially, so I thought, wow, great catch. But alas, just over the glove again. I mean, just like we were talking about with the base hit from Weaver, just nothing special, just in the right spot. You put it in play, good things happen, and right now good things are happening for Virginia.
Looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter here for Leah Boggs. Also, Laura Van Ash is going to run at first for Barbie.
The pinch hitter is Mary Caroline, or MC Eaton, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. No relation, I believe, to Macy Eaton, unless they didn't put it on the website.
You'd think that'd be something that alert us to.
Eaton this year 1 for 6. End of list.
First pitch, fouled away for strike 1. So you have Abby Weaver on second, and the pitch runner, Lauren Van Ash, on first. MC Eaton at the plate. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes.
Smart. Couple pitches, high heat, first swing. Eaton a little bit late that time. A little bit more up in the zone. Late again on the swing. Go right back to it. Maybe crank it up a little bit higher or lower if you want.
The 0-2. Fouled back, barely got a piece, stays alive at 0-2. Seaton, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. Macy Eaton's from Ohio, so
Yeah.
I'm going to say
That was my first clue.
I'm going to say unrelated. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got her the rise, and there's 2 gone.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, pinch hitter hasn't seen you. They're trying in real time to adjust to the looks that they're getting. I don't think any of those pitches were like true strikes, except maybe the one fouled off. But it was just the movement and the velocity that fooled Eaton.
That brings up Kelly Ayer. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Ayer's 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the third with a couple of strikeouts.
Scoreboard
day.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry.
Scoreboard update for Mexico. Another run for Mississippi State. 5-2, top 6 on Clemson. RBI for Madison Kennedy.
Big day for Madison Kennedy. The 0-1. In there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes.
Madison Kennedy making a bid to be the honored guest on It Just Means More Softball.
Ooh.
We'll see.
The 0-2. Hits the outside corner for a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts after the Cavaliers get runners on first and second for Caleb Beaver. Keeps the Cavaliers off the board and keeps Alabama with the 1-run lead.
Yeah, Beaver doing a great job just bearing down in that dicey situation. Virginia has had so many chances today, but Beaver able to wipe it out.
Day number 2 of the Easton Bama Bash. Got the 8-0 victory over St. Thomas in 5 innings earlier today. Up 3-2 over Virginia as we play here in the home half of the 6th. Kinley Cahalan to lead things off for Alabama. First pitch. Misses for ball 1. Cahalan 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk on the day. Leah Boggs did re-enter the ball game at catcher. And Barbie back out at first base for the Cavaliers. The 1-0 is a fly ball, foul ground, third base side, calling everyone off and making the catch in foul ground from third base is Kuhn for out number 1.
Not much to say about that one. Just up in the zone, a little late. I thought that might get out of play. I think Kinley was hoping it would get out of play, but alas.
So 1 out now for Bailey Dowling. First pitch. Misses low and in for ball 1. Dowling 1 for 2 on the day. A solo homer in the second, a strikeout in the third. The 1-0 is fouled off over the Virginia dugout down the first base line. 1-1.
You know what? Another scoreboard update. I'm going to give some credit to Lamar. They're in the top of the 5th, and they're only down 5-0 to Oklahoma.
Well, yeah.
Well done.
Maybe Oklahoma's bad. We don't know.
Everyone is weird.
The 1-1 is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't think Oklahoma's bad.
I would be very surprised.
The 2-1. Dowling takes this one to left, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. Coming up to make the catch is Jones for out number 2.
Well, Bigham is getting the right outs. 6 strikeouts and now 10 fly ball outs collected by the UVA pitcher. Just 1 ground out from Alabama today. And Bigham is kind of getting these Alabama hitters to do exactly what she wants them to do.
KJ Haney now to the plate with 2 out, nobody on. First pitch, high for ball 1. Haney on her senior day. She's over 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
Favorite show is SpongeBob? Sure.
Okay.
She's the comedian of the family. I'm shocked. That is stunning.
If she wasn't, I wanted to see the rest of the family. The 1-0 called strike 1-1.
Her favorite color is yellow. Her favorite flower is the sunflower. She loves to play video games with friends. And loves water. In a different way than I do with my 7 bottles.
Haney fouls that one off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on her.
Likes to swim, fish, kayak, all that fun stuff.
Like it.
Yeah, well done. Happy KJ Haney Day to us all.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 today.
Correct, and this is the meaty part of the Virginia order, the producers offensively for the Hoos. If you're Coach Harden, this is who you want up. Beavers going to have to be up to the task.
Jade Hilton steps in. The first pitch. Right in there for a called strike. Hilton 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a walk, and a strikeout. Oh, 1 right in there on the inside corner again. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One change defensively for Alabama. Emma Broadfoot now at first base, replacing Abby Dukeshire. The 1-2. Hilton pops this one up, foul ground, and guess who it's to? Emma Broadfoot. She makes the catch in foul ground for out number 1.
Ball finds the new girl. Huh?
Always.
I mean, without a doubt. And you know what? Good job by Emma being ready. That's the first time we've seen her all day. And able to track that even with the swirling wind.
So 1 out now for Bella Cabral. 0 for 3. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the 3rd inning. First pitch. Ooh. I don't know where that missed, but it was ball 1. Maybe a little inside.
It's a good spot. If you get the call, even better.
The 1-0. Cabral pops that one up on the infield. Hevlin's underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 2. And Virginia down to their final out here in the 7th inning.
It's a great job by Beaver just taking care of business right now. You know, things got a little squirrely in the 7th last night, but much better here today.
Last chance for Virginia is Sarah Kuhn. 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a hit by pitch. First pitch. Called strike. Real quick update elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Bama baseball. They're in the 4th inning, and Alabama up 10-0 on Manhattan.
My, oh, my.
Trying to catch the basketball team.
Long way to go.
The 0-1. Right down the middle, called strike, and Virginia down to their final strike here in the 7th.
Beaver's just doing such a great job just attacking the hitters here in the 7th. And really, since she arrived in this ball game.
The 0-2. Right down the middle, called strike 3. Kuhn down on strikes. A 3-pitch strikeout ends the ball game. Your final score, Alabama 3, Virginia 2.
Attacking the hitters, going a little middle